We do have two running backs over here. One that impressed me, one that I saw this coming. Ryan Robinson Jr. versus the New York Giants, and then Tony Pollard versus the New York Jets. We have, again, a guy who I didn't expect anything from in Pollard. We all wanted the Spear show. And then I think we all thought Brian Robinson was going to be a great sleeper, getting picked in the later rounds. He really showed up against Tampa Bay. I'm not going to give you what I'm going to go because I want to hear you first because I think you know who I'm taking.
Who would have thought that B. Robinson Jr. was going to finish ahead of B. Robinson in week 1? You did. You thought Brian Robinson Jr. was going to finish above Bijan Robinson.
I don't like. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm just joking. I joke. I kid.
Brian Robinson finished RB14. Tony Pollard finished way higher than I thought he was going to be with RB12. These are two guys that finished very similar. They shared similar workloads, 16 carries for Pollard, 12 for Brian Robinson. Pollard just did better with his chances with 82 yards and got a rushing touchdown, which is big. That's big. I mean, and they both had equal amount of targets.
Mm-hmm. Four targets,
and three receptions on 4 targets. But Brian Robinson did more with those targets.
Not me. That was to be fair. I watched that full game. That was a busted play. It was a busted play that was just dumped off. Nobody was.
So it's like Jaden Reed in his 70-yard touchdown.
You need to chill with the Jaden Reed slander. We're not talking. Derek's going to be so mad that we're not talking about these specific players, and you're going to be mad at me later and text me, Josh. Can you stick?
Oh, you're right. Josh,
can you stick to the script?
We'll talk about Jaden Reed later. So yeah, Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson Jr. I mean, we hated on Tony Pollard all offseason. We've talked about Brian Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson Jr. did well, 17.9 points last week, with Austin Eckler also getting 10 points. I just like the fact that it's a better opportunity for that rush game in Washington with Jaden Daniels, with Austin Eckler, with Brian Robinson Jr., that I kind of lean towards Brian Robinson Jr. Also, if we're looking at the defensive lines, both are good, but the Jets are better.
Mm-hmm. Don't be deceived by this Jordan Mason torching the Jets thing.
Yeah, that was weird. I also just felt that I was like, wait, the Jets are better at rush defense, but just got torched by a backup running back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So I wouldn't be really worried about that. And that's why I'm actually going to go with Brian Robinson. I think they have a better offense overall. I think Jaden Daniels really opens up that offense. We saw what happened in Tampa Bay. Even though they did get beat down, they still look good, explosive. It's just the thing with Brian Robinson. He did get the majority of the snaps over Austin Eckler. 54% snap share. You like to see it. You love to see it. You saw Tampa Bay stack the box, and numbers don't lie. Per player profiler, Brian Robinson was a 6th, I guess, ranked player that had the most defenders in the box. As in, he was the 6th most stacked running back, and he still did what he did. He still created yards. He created 72 yards on his own. He just was a beast out there and was unstoppable. And don't sleep on this Buccaneers defense. They are very good. They have weapons. They have good players on that defensive side. And they were still down in this game, and he was able to create his own yards and score a touchdown. I want him against the Giants this week. And we saw what Aaron Jones did. Aaron Jones was old busted. He looked pretty good. Give me all the Brian Robinson this week. Sorry, Tony Pollard. I still stand by that was a 1-week thing. Tony Pollard will not be a thing. Don't clip that, Derek.
Speaking of like Tony Pollard and like the Titans, kind of slightly unrelated but related. I liked how on Thursday Night Football, Derrick Henry immediately scored a touchdown in the first drive, and everybody was like, "Oh, I guess Derrick Henry's going to run for 30 touchdowns," and then never saw Derrick Henry ever again.
I am concerned. I will say this: I'm concerned that Brian Robinson only had 40 rushing yards, but again, they were down. The game script was bad, and it was a good Buccaneers defense. I expect bigger and better days for Brian Robinson. He's so solid. Like, name a better running back too. You can't.
Jordan Mason.
He's not. He's not. When CMC's back, he's obsolete.
David Montgomery / Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
Technically, it's Jahmyr Gibbs because on the depth chart it says.
I meant Gibbs. Running back 2 on your fantasy team. So I guess Montgomery would be your running back 2.
Montgomery, yeah.
Okay. I would take Brian Robinson.
Okay.
Controversial. Is it?
I mean,
Is it?
I'm looking at like DeAndre Swift as my RB1 on my teams because I went zero running back again this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I get it. All right, we're gonna go to the
But
wide
Brian Robinson
receivers.
is my RB2 on those.
Wait,
So.
did you pick Brian Robinson?
No, I picked. Yeah. I didn't pick Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
I don't pick bums on this show.
And guys, if these seem like we're only touching on these, we'll be back Friday during the afternoon when I have better lighting, by the way, and we're breaking
Cover
down
everybody.
every game. So these are just the matchups that we think that you have a shot of actually having both of these players. I should have said that up front. You may roster these players. These are very possibilities, except for the tight ends. I don't think you roster these guys, but you might roster Brian Robinson and Pollard, and you might have this decision. So this is what this show is for. It's going to be every single Wednesday. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, OUSFF Pod. Make sure you go to our website. Justin made me update my rankings again. He's a freaking tyrant over here. So go to our website, OUSFFpod.com. Our rankings are updated weekly. Don't go anywhere else. Come to us.